Good afternoon, everyone. Oops. So, I just wanted to make this video today because I was reading a little magazine that comes from Ohio State that I get because I'm an alumni. I graduated from Ohio State in my undergrad with a bachelor's degree in agriculture, with my focus being more along the lines of animal sciences, and I had minored in entomology, but I was looking more into going to veterinary medicine. But what was striking about the whole article is, or the whole little magazine, I'm flipping through all the pages, there was not one black face in there, and it was talking about, people that graduated, they're getting these jobs at all these big giant corporations, or they're starting their own businesses, based off the education that they got in agriculture at Ohio State. And so a lot of them were starting out graduating with some of them even with associates and bachelors, and they were making $53,000 a year. This was the average. Some of them making slightly less. A lot of them were making a lot more. And the fields were not even farming anything. They were doing research. They were doing construction. They were doing solar energy. These people were beekeepers, and they opened up an apiary, and they started selling the honey that they grew, or the honey that they harvested from their bees, but also they started their own mead brewery where they take the bee honey and they make mead, which is a type of alcohol you can make with honey. And so they're netting, like, this year they're going to net about $100,000, and they just graduated from Ohio State 2018. And I'm looking at this, and I'm looking through there and trying to find one black face. And I think I saw one black older guy that had graduated back in the 60s, and he might be a professor there or something. But other than that, there was not one single black individual that had graduated that was black, that even said, like, I'm going to be working at this place, or I'm going to be going to this place. And it just got me thinking, because this is the same thing I went through when I was at Ohio State. There were 6 black people out of thousands of white people in the College of Agriculture. College of Agriculture does not just deal with farming. Yes, that's a big component of it, but agriculture is the basis that holds this whole country together. When you look at your gas depends on agriculture, the mining, the natural resources, all of that goes into effect under the whole branch of agriculture. There's natural resources, there's environmental sciences, there's food science, there's animal science. There's so many different areas in this particular field that there's a lot of jobs that just go unfilled. Like, there's people that don't have the skills to do it, or they may have the skills, but they don't know about the jobs. And it just gets me upset every time I see this stuff, and I'm looking, and we got all these black people that are able-bodied. They could major in animal sciences. They could major in food science. They could major in all these different things if they want to go to school. And then you don't even have to go to school to get into this field. You can go and you can learn how to grow something. You can learn how to construct something. You can learn how to raise something. And you can be making your family money, yourself money. Like, I just wanted to bring out what I harvested just this week. So these are all zucchinis that I just harvested since Tuesday, and today's Sunday, and I harvested some this morning. This is just on this little lot. I have a 7,000 square foot lot that I only farm on half of it, and the chickens are on the other half, and the bees are on the back part. I don't even farm that part of it. I only farm the front part of it, and I'm getting all this. If I had acres of land, I could be feeding lots and lots and lots of people. That's why I don't even believe that whole narrative that, we're going to run out of food because there's too many people. I don't believe that. Number one, there's too many people trying to live in one spot. That's the problem. Number two, there's so much potential where people can farm and grow food. There's no reason why anybody should be hungry. Anyone. Not one single person, not one single animal on this planet should be hungry. There's stuff back here that's growing that's weeds that I could actually go back here and eat if I really wanted to. So there's no reason why anybody should ever go hungry. And then on the basis of that, look what nature provides. Like, this is just a week harvest. This is about 30 pounds of zucchini. Then I also raise chickens. I get 16 eggs a day. 16 eggs. I have 16 little chickens over there. I just buy them some feed, but I let them forage around in that back area. I'm providing food, not just for my family, but I can provide food for another whole household. That's what I plan to do. I plan to sell this stuff. And that's what I'm trying to figure out, like, what is it with black people when it comes to the whole field of agriculture? Because, I mean, even the immigrant workers that they're kicking out of this country, that's what they're working in. They work in agriculture. They're the ones harvesting your food every day. They're the ones growing your food every day. They have no problem doing that. What is with us as it pertains to agriculture? Why do we not want to get involved in this? You don't have to farm. You do not have to farm. You can be a scientist, you can be a doctor, you can be a veterinarian, you can be a business owner. You can do all of that under one umbrella. So I'm not understanding, why are we not pursuing this field? I get offers all the time for people to show them how to grow marijuana, and I won't do it. I will not do it, because we need more than marijuana. We need more than marijuana farmed. We need investors in agriculture for the black community. We don't need investors for marijuana. At any point in time, if I want to grow marijuana, I can go get some seeds and I can grow marijuana. That's not a problem. I can grow all types of plants. I've grown moringa trees in hydroponics, so I can grow any plant. That's not the problem. The problem is, I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to grow marijuana just so you can get rich and you got people starving. You can't eat marijuana. You can't live on weed alone. Why is it that that's the only thing we want to farm is marijuana? I don't get it. I don't get it. And then they talk about, we talk about, oh, we got food deserts. Who are you waiting on to feed you? You can go out here, just like I went outside and I planted these seeds. I planted this from a seed. I didn't get plants. I bought some seeds. I put this in the ground and it came up and it produces. I have about 17 zucchini plants over there. I have about 100 tomato plants over here, 200 pepper plants, 400 corn plants growing, and I have a small space. I don't even have a lot of land, and I'm doing this. So if I had a lot of land, I could really provide a lot. Like I say, and if you don't want to farm, there's so many other things you could do. That's why I even created Agri Academy, because I'm trying to show the youth, because I don't think the adults get it, but I'm trying to show the youth that you can pursue careers in this field that that can be profitable, that can build wealth. I mean, there are a lot of black farmers, and this is another thing that I'm noticing too. I work with the National Black Farmers Association, so I've been to Mississippi, I've been to North Carolina, and I've been to Virginia. There are a lot of black people that own a lot of land, but they're not doing anything with the land because they're waiting on the USDA to give them money when they could be doing something on the land that could bring in a big profit. So I always try to bring in some alternative things that they could grow or do, or there's so many things they can do with their land. You got black people with 300 acres of land and it's just sitting there, growing trees on it. And then they're talking about, well, we're poor, we don't have anything, we have food deserts. How do you have a food desert and you in the country and y'all got hundreds and thousands of acres of land that y'all could be growing stuff on? That don't make sense. It does not make sense. So the USDA is not going to give black people anything. And if they do, they're not going to give you enough to get you where you need to go. Oh, I'm in Cincinnati. I'm on my urban farm right now. I'm outside. The USDA, yes, they're supposed to provide for us. But at the end of the day, I've read article after article over the last 3 weeks where farmers, they've gotten bad seed from growers, and they had to use money from the USDA to get those seeds. So now they can't even grow the crop because the seeds that they got were bad. So then they have to pay that money back to the USDA. And then what happens? Well, the USDA uses your land as collateral. So if you can't pay them back their money, guess what? They're going to take your land. I've seen that. I've seen farmers and stuff where they said they're gone and they've met the criteria to get the loan or whatever, and they'll come up with every excuse why they won't give it to them, or they'll give them a portion of what they need that won't help them. So again, if they can't grow, if they cannot grow what they need to make that money back, then they're pretty much giving their farms to the USDA, the government. Then you have the farmers that have the land, but they only want to do the same thing that their great-great-great-great-grandfather did. We don't need any more cattle farmers. And I'm not trying to say anything bad about cattle farmers, because I know quite a few of them, and they're great people. But everybody can't farm cattle. Why would you want to farm cattle when your neighbor and the neighbor next door, and then Tyson and all these other people are farming cattle, and then you're not even going to get the money that you need to get the equipment that you need? So at the end, you just don't do anything. I can't farm it, but you can farm it. You can grow mushrooms, you can grow garlic, you can grow bamboo, you can grow food for the food, so you don't have food deserts. You can be selling stuff. You could grow all types of things. But we don't even look beyond that. We get so set in our ways. We get so set. The city people, we got to get a corporate job so we can move up the ladder. And the country people, we got to do it like grandfather did back during when we wasn't even free yet. It just don't make sense. We gotta wake up. It's not making sense anymore. And I'm reading this article and I'm like, okay, they got they're starting out with $53,000. And I got people that are going to college and they're graduating and they're having to go work at retail places and they're making $9 an hour. And they never work in their field. They never were able to even use the degree that they got. Why are we still pursuing those same degrees? Why are we still listening to that whole narrative that you got to go to college to provide for your family? That don't work for everybody. And I've gone to college. I'm paying student loans now. Hopefully I'll be paying them off within the next few years. But I don't teach that narrative even to Alexander anymore. Oh, we got to go to college so you can get a good job. I don't want him to get a good job. I want him to take on one of our family businesses that we have. This is our flower shop. If it's the farming, if it's my app, whatever. I don't want him to have to fall into that trap that I fell into, listening to society saying, "Oh, we got to go to this and get a job." No, when I graduated, that's going to be an issue too. When you're black, they're not going to pay you $53,000, so you're gonna have to work 10 times harder to get the same thing that they're getting. But in the end, I've made more money working on my own, doing my own thing versus when I was working in those labs and stuff. I don't know. It's a lot that we have to take this equipment to Africa. Okay, that's a good idea to take their skills and stuff to Africa, but everybody's not going to go to Africa. So what are the people that are here? They need to do some things as well. Not just everybody. Everybody up and moving to Africa ain't always the answer. Everybody can't do that. But there are things that people can do here. Like I say, I bought this empty lot. Okay, and what's to say the government won't start attacking our progress there? I mean, you already got the Chinese moving in there. The United States already strips Africa of all its resources too. So everywhere we go, we're going to be under attack once we start building stuff up. That's beside the point. But we're not even taking our skills to Africa. We're not even doing nothing. That's what I'm saying. We're not even entering into this field to even take anything to Africa. Over here, I have solar energy on my lot. I'm growing all these crops. I can teach people on this lot. I have animals. I have bees. I have all that going on. And like I said, this ain't even a big lot. You just got to have a will to want to do it. And I don't think we want to do that. Like I say, we just want to grow weed. And I'm so tired of everybody coming to me. Oh, I want you to show me how to grow weed. I'm not going to show you how to grow weed. I'll show you how to grow a tomato. A tomato is harder to grow than weed. It's harder to grow than weed. At the end of the day, it takes more skill to grow a tomato or a pepper plant or whatever, corn being another one. It don't take that much skill to grow weed, but that's all we want because the white man or whoever said this plant has value. It's just a plant. It's a plant. You know, there's 500,000 other medicinal plants out there. 500,000. And there's plants they haven't even found yet. So don't tell me I don't care about weed. That ain't the all cure-all for everything. And then they keep tampering with the seeds, and if Monsanto get involved, it's going to be GMO marijuana. So I don't want to hear about weed. I want to hear about what are you growing for your community that doesn't even have a grocery store. Why are we waiting for white people or anybody else to come in our neighborhood to open a grocery store? We can open our own grocery store. We don't need that to help. Nobody come in to help us. Why are we always waiting on the government to give us a handout? When you wait on the government to give you a handout, then you making them part of your life. Because when they give you something, number one, they're going to want it back. And number two, they can control you. They can control you. They tell you where you can, who you can do it with, when you can do it, how you can do it. And they always want to keep you at a level that you're not going to be successful. They always want to keep you at the poverty level. Why do y'all want to stay at the poverty level? Why? Why do y'all want the people that put you in these situations to come and help you? They ain't coming to help you. They are not. They are not coming. They're only coming. Do you know why they keep you in those situations? I used to work in research. I worked for public health. They keep you in those situations so that they can get grants and they can study you in those situations. So they'll get a grant. They'll come in. They'll study people that live in food deserts to figure out, oh, why are these people in such bad health and all this stuff? They never come up with a solution. The solution is simple. You give them fresh food. You take out the fast food. The people will heal. People will heal. People will heal. I mean, we got pure seeds. We got heirloom seeds. The seeds are there. You got to get somebody to plant them. That's what the problem is. Nobody's planting them. Nobody's planting the seeds. Nobody's going out. Okay, look, we don't even have anybody. So say, okay, they decide we don't want you black people using our gasoline anymore. How y'all gonna drive? We don't even have a lab to go to where we're running the lab where we can create our own gasoline, our own fuel. No, but there's also alternative fuel. But you know what? They are holding that technology. We can use solar energy. We can use hydro energy. There's so many different things that we can do. But we don't even pursue that stuff. We want to sit here in this country. Like that's why I made the post the other day about there's a difference between an African American and an African. We want to sit here and gripe and complain and say, well, I'm going to wait for somebody to save me. Ain't nobody going to save you. You got to save yourself. No one is going to come and save us. If you don't get up and do something yourself, it's not going to get done. Yes, you can go to church all you want to. Nobody's coming to save you. No one is coming to save you. You're going to have to get up and do something yourself. You're going to have to get up. You're going to have to plant some seeds. You're going to have to study some stuff. You have to do something on your own. Even going to Africa. You can't go to Africa and think you're just going to not go over there and do nothing. You be lazy. That's not fair to those people over there. We can't leave here going over there and being useless and being a hindrance to those people. Because technically, we're not even part of that land. We were born here. So we're going over there, and we're going to be immigrants over there. And I'll ask you that if you look at it. So you can't go over there, and you can't take these American ways over there and think that's going to work. The American ways don't work here, so you can't take them over there. But that's how we'll be. We'll be like, oh, I'm not going to go over there and grow anything. Or I'm not going to go over there and work for that. I'm not going to go and live under those conditions. Well, then stay over here. Because you don't no point going over there and inconveniencing those people and bringing crime and all the things that we do over here and the materialism and all that. Delete that. You can't bring that over there. So until you get it together over here, you ain't ready to go over there. And no man shall buy him. Right, not true. What's not true? What's not true? So, I mean, like I say, I've been wanting to say this for a few days, and I keep seeing all these articles. Like, I saw another article where the USDA, they weren't giving they were coming in trying to take people's farms. Then I see another article where they were talking about farmers are committing suicide. And I know they were more focused on the white farmers, but they haven't even looked at probably the people of color farmers. the ones that really aren't getting any help. At the end of the day, the Trump administration or whatever administration's out there, they will help the big corporate farms like Purdue and all those places. If anything goes down after all this tariff stuff, goes through and people start trading with us, they will end up bailing them out. Like they bailed out the banks, but they didn't bail out the people. So they're gonna be okay. But at the end, we're still gonna be in the same situation we in. We're in the same situation. We're in the same situation we were in 50 years ago. Because everybody's waiting on somebody else to do something. Why? I'm not understanding that. Why? Why do you wait for somebody else? Again, nobody's going to do anything for you. You have to get up and do stuff yourself. You have to get up. You have to take an initiative and be like, in my mind, I need this to change. I need this to change. This. I don't like this. I want to change this. Y'all sitting right there in y'all neighborhoods. And I know some of y'all live in black neighborhoods. And y'all complaining about everything that's going around there. But y'all going out trying to fix it? Are y'all going out saying, oh, let me see, why are these children acting this way? Or why is there so much crime here? Or why? No, you want to complain and you want to say, oh, well, I'm going to call the police, but I don't want to call the police because they're going to shoot us. Then y'all create a freaking policing system yourself. Those are y'all kids that are out there acting a fool. Those are y'all husbands, y'all wives that are out there on the street using the drugs and selling them. Y'all need to go out there and fix that. Nobody's going to come in there and do that for you. The only reason they want to come in there is to get rid of you. So you need to know that. The only reason they created food deserts is because they want to get rid of us. Either systematically through health issues, we'll eventually die off, or we'll move away, and so they can take over that area. It's all planned. They do this. They keep doing this to us in every 20-year cycles. So what happens is now here in Cincinnati, it's probably the same other places. Everybody, all the European white people, they moved out to the suburbs. Well, then their kids, they didn't want to live out in the suburbs no more. So you know what? They came back to the city. When we were in the city, we were in the inner city. So what they do, they dropped the value of all the land and all the property so they could afford to buy them up and kick us out. And then guess what? They kicked us out to the suburbs where they don't want to live no more. So these individuals, they're going to have children. Their children are going to grow up, and their children are going to decide, I don't want to live in the city anymore. Guess where they're going? Back out to the suburbs again. So what's going to happen? Y'all going to get pushed back to the inner city, and y'all just keep doing, y'all keep allowing them to do that. You know why? Because we don't own nothing. Would y'all just buy a lot? Just buy a lot. You gotta own something. We don't own anything, so we have no power. And even when you own something, don't just sell it to the first person that want to buy it. If they're coming at you and they want to buy your stuff, that means it has some true value to it. Tell them no. Stop being greedy. Stop trying to feel like you got to have all the millions. You ain't got to have all the millions. If you got land and you got opportunity, you're in a better position than a person that's renting or whatever else is going on out here. We got to own something. We got to start building real infrastructure. We got to build hospitals. We don't need... And I'm gonna probably somebody gonna attack me about it. We don't need any more hairdressers. We don't need any more barbershops. We don't need any more restaurants that are serving food that is not of benefit to us. You know what we need? We need banks. We need grocery stores. We need research technology labs. We need technology labs. We need our own fuel. We need our own water systems. We need a lot of stuff that we aren't even looking into. And you know what? Most of that stuff falls under agriculture in some form, way, shape, or form. So when I come on here and I be talking about, even when it comes to diseases, and I'll share about, recalls and stuff, all that falls under agriculture. Food safety, that falls under agriculture. We don't even have inspectors going in. I know some of y'all that live in areas that have like, like convenience stores, and they may have a little produce or something there that's rotting and stuff, but that stuff isn't good quality, and then you go in there and you get sick and stuff. There's nobody coming in there inspecting that stuff and making sure that it's healthy for you and all that. There's nobody coming in to do that. So we need our own inspectors, our health inspectors, our food safety inspectors. We need pretty much our own branch of government. But even to go to Africa, we can't. We still gotta have that stuff over there. Okay, but we still can't bring Americanized ways over there either. Yeah, swap by one lot at a time. Right, like I say, I got this lot, and I'm trying to get other lots. And it's living in the city I'm in. You know, they don't want you to do anything if you look like me. They'll you know, open up all types of opportunities and stuff if you don't look like me. But when it comes to me, I get all this opposition. Then I get opposition from my own folks. Like, I offer classes, I offer, you know, consultations to help people and stuff. We'll turn it down. But if somebody else that don't look like me offer it, y'all jump right on it. And I don't understand that either. Like, I went to the same school, these same people y'all getting the information from that don't look like me. I went to school, I have a master's. I also been studying this stuff all my life. All my life. Ever since I was able to walk and talk, I've been out here collecting books and doing scientific stuff. So this is in me. This ain't nothing that a book just gave me. This is in me. I know this stuff. And I know when I be sitting here and I'm looking in this book, and then when I was sitting in my classes, even when I went to school for entomology, there's not really any black people that's pursuing that career. So entomology is the study of insects. So insects, they affect our lives on a mass scale on a daily basis. It's not just the ones that cause disease. Those are very important. But you got ones that cause issues right here on the crops you try to grow and stuff. And I try to teach people about that. I try to teach people that, you know, you can suffer, your food can have a little insect damage. Because if you don't have a little insect damage and you're trying to spray pesticide, I'd rather have a caterpillar on my food than to have Roundup and all those other pesticides they put on there that are causing cancer. But you can't get people to understand that. They want pretty food. Pretty food. What's the point of pretty food? When it gets in your stomach, it's all macerated and it mixes with stomach acid and it breaks down. It doesn't have to be pretty. But that's what the American culture has told you. Everything has to be perfect, and there's no perfection. There's nothing that's perfect. There's always going to be some imperfection in everything. But to try to make perfection, they've poisoned the environment. They've poisoned all of us. Cancer didn't exist like it does now until the 40s when they started spraying DDT and all these other pesticides out here to control insects so people can have pretty food. Now you have cancer, you have all these autoimmune diseases that they act like they don't know where they come from. They know exactly where their stuff comes from. You stop putting the pesticide on the stuff. You stop putting these fake chemicals in the stuff. You stop selling this fake food, and you feed people real stuff. All this stuff will probably disappear within a 10-year period. But they don't want that. They making money off that whole thing. I told you I worked in public health. I am still convinced that they on a regular basis they infect the communities with stuff just so they can keep grants. They do it. I was a disease investigator. So basically when somebody got sick, I had to figure out where you got sick and make sure you weren't exposing anybody else to one of 100 reportable diseases. There would be outbreaks and stuff and nobody could ever figure out where it came from. Where did it come from? Where did we get the Shigella outbreak that happened here about 2 years ago, where there was thousands of people with Shigella? Shigella is it's a bacteria that causes diarrhea and it's normally associated with like daycares. But what happened is it got out into the community. How did it get out into the community? It didn't even show up in the right time frame. It usually shows up like when school starts or whatever. It started like spring and the outbreak just lasted for a whole freaking year. A year. So I was the only disease investigator, and it was hundreds of cases that I had to call, and I had to figure out where these people got Shigella from. Nobody could ever answer it. Because they put it out there. They put it out there. It probably had some grant that they got, but the only way people can keep grants, especially when it comes to like research and medicine, you got to have cases. Because you got to have a case so that you can study it. So, who says they don't affect us with anything? I can't believe that they don't. Just like when it comes to the food desert. The food desert can be remedied so easily. All it takes is a grocery store. A good grocery store. With good products in it. And people could go there and they could shop and take good food home and get rid of the fast food restaurants in the neighborhood. But why would you do that when you're making millions of dollars every year Number one, getting grants to tell black communities and poor communities, oh, if you just make this little garden, how's a 10 by 10 garden going to suffice 1,000 people? It's not going to do it. But if you told 1,000 people that had backyards in that area, we could do a community farm where each one of us are farming something different or whatever. You could get rid of the food deserts. You could open a grocery store. You could sell your products in that grocery store right there in your community. But they're not going to tell you that, because then if they tell you that, guess what? Diabetes goes away, heart disease goes away, obesity goes away. You know, all these things they make money off of with other research projects. So you got to create the environment. You got to take the food out of there that people need to eat. You got to take the whole everything that they would use to exercise. You got to make them scared to come outside because of the crime and stuff. So then people just sit at home in the house and they just get big and they get sick. And at the end of the day, some health department or some hospital, they have guinea pigs to study. And so then they get millions of dollars with these grants. They'll come in, they'll act like they're going to get some results, and they don't ever get any results. Why would you get results? Because you get results and you find a cure, then you don't get that money anymore. Everything is money based. Everything is money based. Cancer is a money maker. You stop feeding these people these poisons, these pesticides, this fake food, cancer would go away. I'm not saying all of them would go away, because some of them are genetic based, but the vast majority of them are not. Most of them are diet related or environment related because of the chemicals and stuff that are in the air and the water. So you know, it just don't make sense. But that's why I say we need to get into this field, because they can do and say whatever to us. And I know this one thing too, when it comes to us, we just go by what a doctor say. Are y'all scared of the doctor? I mean, I had to talk to doctors and nurses, researchers, and all this stuff, and I just looked at them as like people just like me. Y'all put your pants leg on the same way. But they always try to threaten me, like, oh, well, I'll put you on the phone with the doctor. When I was telling them like they were doing something wrong when it came to, I'm like, okay, that's fine. I'm not scared of the doctor. What is he gonna do? But I found that a lot of patients, they're scared to tell the doctor, no, this medicine isn't working. I don't want to take this medicine. Or I don't like the way this makes me feel, or I don't think I want to get that procedure done. We don't this is your body. This is not the doctor's body. He can't tell you what you're feeling, or she can't tell you what you're feeling or how you feeling. You know what you feel. So, but I find that a lot of people, they'll just say, the doctor tell you take a pill, or the doctor tell you do this, y'all just do it. And it's causing y'all even more problems. Y'all know, I was looking at people's medical charts, and they were on 20 and 30 drugs that they were taking a day. And the drugs were counteracting each other, and they were causing more problems for the person. And then they have another drug to fight that problem. It's like so many layers to this. It's ridiculous. But we just fall right into it. Well, the doctor told me to. He told me to. Or the government said they're going to give me some money, so I'm just going to wait. What y'all waiting on? They promised you 40 acres and a mule. Did we get that? They promised us reparations. Did we get that? People signed treaties. Did they abide by them? No. So stop waiting on somebody else to save you. Stop it. Like I say, I can go on and on all day about this, because it's just infuriating every time I turn on the TV and I see the news. And I don't even watch a lot of TV. Every night I turn the news on, and I'll just see like, oh, there's a recall, or or there's not going to be this product available. You can grow the stuff in your own yard. You don't need somebody's store if you don't want to go to the store. You can go buy lettuce. We don't have to wait for California to grow lettuce for us. You can grow lettuce in your backyard. I teach a hydroponics class. You can grow lettuce in 30 days. You ain't got to wait for Californians who, they are in a drought, and they are like the agricultural mecca of the United States. As a result, they have created a lot of problems over there in that state. They ship lettuce from California to over here on the East Coast. Why? When you can grow the same stuff in your yard in 30 days. 30 days. And you ain't got to ship, you ain't got to pollute the air, you ain't got to do none of that other stuff that happens. I just don't get it. But I really do want us to enter into the field of agriculture. And I know everybody doesn't want to farm, and I keep trying to explain it's not just farming. So I'm going to do more presentations about showing where it's not just farming. I'm going to do presentations showing that you can be this, this, and this, or you can start a business. You don't have to spend a lot of money to start a business, but that business can bring in the money that you need to maybe do what other things you want to do. We have to have 7 streams of income, probably even more if you're black, to even build wealth. We're at the bottom of the wealth thing. I don't know. I saw Sharika on here earlier. She might not be on here anymore, but she does investing and things, and she tries to teach us about stock market. You know, I try to teach y'all about the stock market. I try to tell you about cryptos, but she does an excellent job. And she looks and does research and shows you, like, you know, we're at the bottom. We're at the bottom. Like, our net worth is like $5. If you ain't got no debt. $5 versus, you know, white America, they're up in the millions. Some of them have net worth in the millions. And net worth is when you have no debts, and that's what, after you paid off all your debts and things, that's what has left over. Ours is $5. We have no generational wealth. Most of us don't. You can't leave your job to your family member. You have to come up with some type of business. You have to get into investing. You have to get life insurance. You have to leave something for somebody. We're going to be in the same situation if we don't change now. We're going to be in the same situation 50 years from now. We're going to be talking the same tune. Waiting on the government to give us reparations. They ain't going to give it to us. They can't give it to us. There's not enough land. They will not give us the majority of the land. If they gave us East 40 acres, I think it was like 2 point something billion acres here in the United States, that's including Alaska. If they gave the 45 million, which I know there's more black people in this country than that, 40 acres, it would make us have almost about 97% of the country. You really think they're going to do that? You really think they're going to do that? They're not going to do that. They're not going to give you 40 acres. They're not going to give you a mule. And even if they gave you 40 acres, what are you going to do with it? You don't even know how to farm. Or you don't have any plans with it unless you're going to grow weed. And you can't grow weed in every state. And then, like I said, you can't survive on weed alone. So you got to come up with another plan. So I just wanted to say that. And I'm going to be doing more of these because I guess I gotta put it out there that it's more to agriculture than just growing stuff. But this is a big component. We got to eat. And people got to eat every day. That's one thing that I know. If you're growing something and it's edible and it's food, you'll always be in business because people got to eat every day. They don't got to smoke weed every day, but they got to eat every day. They ain't got to have alcohol every day. Even alcohol, breweries and stuff. Y'all could be getting into that. Y'all don't have to even open a brewery, but y'all could be growing the hops and the barley and all the stuff that they use as ingredients. But y'all don't even want to do that. Y'all don't even want to do that. Right. Not when they had 9% of the wealth. Exactly. They're not going to ever give us, they would never give us all that land so that we could, better ourselves or whatever. So, no, they're not going to do that. And like I say earlier, as people was telling me about, we just need to go back to Africa. Yeah, we can go back to Africa, but we can't bring these same ideologies and the way we think over here. We can't take that over there. Because like I told earlier, we be immigrants moving to Africa because we were born here. I was not born in Africa. I was born in the United States. So I would be an immigrant over there. I can't take my negative United States ways over there and think it's going to work. They have their own system and way of doing stuff over there, and I can't come over here. If it's not going to better them and it's just going to cause a hindrance, then I need to keep my butt right here. But even keeping my butt right here, I need to be doing more than what I'm doing. And complaining and begging the government and whoever else for a handout, or just taking the handouts and never trying to, do better. That bothers me. That bothers me. It really bothers me. Like I say, I grew this stuff. I planted all these plants over here. I planted over 1,000 plants by hand, by myself. I didn't have anybody come over here helping me. I tilled this land. I dug it up. I planted each seed. I planted each plant. I come out here and I check these plants on a regular basis. Right, we're the only thing in Africa. We're the only thing in the United States. So we're in a bad situation. That's why I said we need to own something. I bought this lot and I turned it into a farm. I can teach from here. I can grow food from here. If I really wanted to live on it, I could too. I could put a house on it, but then that would take away from what I'm trying to do as far as the farming part. But we got to own something. Just buy a lot. They sell lots all the time. They go to auction. We got to get some ownership. And we also got to own that we could do better. We can do better. We can. We ain't even trying. We're not even trying. We just waiting on somebody else. And that's what really aggravates me. It really does. Gives me a headache. You know, some things keep y'all up at night. But when I see stuff like, I see that, you know, our children could be running their own little businesses, growing simple stuff. And they ain't got to do a whole bunch of labor. They ain't got to do nothing. But we ain't even teaching them that. We could be teaching our children, you know, how to buy a stock or how to buy cryptocurrency. But most of us are scared to even do it for ourselves. Oh, we ain't gonna gamble money away like that. But then we spend it on other frivolous things like shoes and weave and all this stuff. That same money could have went into an investment that was gonna better your future. I'm not saying you can't do those things, but why don't you think about your future? Why don't you think about your kids? You can't leave your job to your kids. That you can't. Now, if you had a business, you could leave that to your kids. Some of y'all ain't got insurance. So something happened to you, your kids are not even insured. Like, you're not even insured, so they won't even get that. But we got a lot of things we need to work on here. A lot. And like I say, I go and I try to teach people about farming, and it seems like people are interested at first, and I'll get them these alternative things, and then I never hear back from them. And it's like, you know, I know this stuff will work because it's working for them. And they ain't going to school for this stuff. They'll go buy some PVC and they'll put some plumbing together. Their buddy might be an electrician or something, and they'll come together and they'll put something together. And by the end of the year, they're netting $500,000, and in the following years, they're in the millions. They're millionaires off of simple growing some lettuce, growing some mushrooms, teaching a class. And yes, you can make a lot of money with marijuana, but if you don't, well, we're not making a lot of money in marijuana. We're still being locked up for it. So like I said, we gotta think outside of that. And I don't want anybody coming to me again talking about, I'll invest in you if you grow marijuana. No, if you're gonna invest in me, please invest in me so I can grow some food, so I can teach these agricultural classes that I'm trying to do, so I can start this after school program. I don't want to get in the marijuana industry. If I ever need marijuana, if I ever get sick and ever need marijuana, I'm going to grow my own marijuana, and it'll be grown for myself. I don't want to do that. I've seen the way marijuana has turned into the new cotton. I've seen it. They're going to have y'all working in their dispensaries. They're going to have y'all working in their grow houses. They're going to be paying y'all minimum wage or just slightly above, and they're going to be making millions. They'll pay you $12 an hour to run a dispensary and put your life in danger, because with the marijuana industry, there's no insurance companies that will cover it. You can't deposit money in the bank from any transactions that you get. So it's always going to be cash sitting there. So you're putting yourself at risk. Not only that, then you have all this product that's wanted by all these bad people. So you're always putting yourself at risk. And you go put yourself at risk for $11, $12. The owner ain't there. He ain't having to deal with that. He ain't having to deal with people breaking in and stealing and pulling guns on you. That's why they put you there, so you would be the one to get hurt. But you also making them money. So it has turned into the new cotton. That's all it's turned it into. You know, cotton was the slavery crop. And that's what marijuana's gonna turn into. They still locking us up for marijuana. They still locking us up. How are you still locking people up and you got other people making millions and they're growing it, and they taking pictures of putting on the internet showing their whole facility? got an address and everything. Nobody's going to raid them. But the little drug dealer that's selling the dime bags, he going to jail for lengthy periods of time. So it don't make sense. It don't make sense. It don't make sense. And then you don't have to even grow marijuana. If you really wanted to get into the whole cannabis thing, you could grow the hemp, and you can make a lot more products with hemp than you can make with just people trying to get high. You can make building materials, paper, cloth. It's so many other things you can do, and it's what's called added value. So you have a crop, and then you add value to it by offering another product with that crop. Other than marijuana, other than vaping and all this other crap that they be doing, I don't really understand all that. It ain't really got no value. Like, other than them trying to sell it for millions of dollars, there's no value. And then they always come in, y'all always go by them. Oh, this strain is better. This and this. It's funny because y'all will buy marijuana plants that they've crossed and made hybrids and stuff. That hybridization is not bad, but y'all will talk about y'all don't want to eat seedless watermelons and all this other seedless stuff, which that's not even GMO. GMO and hybrids are two different things. Hybrids are not bad. It's just that when you take those seeds from a hybrid, if it did produce those seeds, you're not going to get a plant that looks exactly like that plant anymore. What's going to happen is you're going to get a plant that looks like that plant's parents. GMO is a whole different ball game, and that's a research, that's in the lab, that's gene splicing and all this stuff. At the end of the day, I can go over here and I can take these cherry tomatoes that I'm growing, and I can mix the pollen with those beefsteak tomatoes, and I can make a whole nother tomato, and it's nothing wrong with it. That's hybridization. That's a hybrid. But y'all will get mad, and y'all will talk about y'all don't want to eat, like I say, stuff with no seeds in it. But they will make hybrid weed, and they'll cross those things and make those other strains that they claim is so much more powerful. It's the same thing. It's a hybrid. They just crossed DNA. They crossed the pollen, and they created another plant. Like I say, we got to do better. Best textile ever. Right, and it's more environmentally friendly. And then, like, when I try to teach hydroponics, I be trying to tell people, well, you don't have to, if you don't want to buy an empty lot or you don't have land to farm on, you can still grow stuff indoors with hydroponics. So I use hydroponics, and I've shown people how to grow things indoors. But when I talk about hydroponics, the first thing people only want to think about is weed. And I'm like, you can grow so many more things with hydroponics other than weed. And even if you gotta have your weed, would you please be growing something else along with it? You don't have to just stop at weed. You can grow tomatoes. You could be growing, if you're a business person and you're growing just marijuana and you're selling it, and you ain't making that much because you can't sell it out in the open. You can sell a tomato out in the open. You can sell a tomato. You can sell peppers. You can all these other things you can grow. You could have multiple products you're selling. You don't have to just settle down with the weed. But you can't get us to see that. We just want our weed, we want our entertainment, and we want somebody else to do it for us. And then I've had even people tell me that even farming, that's slavery. No, slavery is you waiting on the government to save you. That's slavery. There will only be a hand-picked few that will have a license on cannabis farm. That's true. That's true. But people break the law all the time, and they be doing everything else they want to do. They could grow it under the radar if they really wanted to. They could grow it under the radar. So people pick and choose what they want to do. This is how I look at it. Now, look, okay. If I was a person and I was in the weed industry, and I'm a black person, and I know and I'm selling weed on the corner, and I'm getting a fraction of what the person that's supplying me with it is, I would be like, no, you know what? I know how to do this. I'm going to figure out, since I'm already breaking the law anyway, I'm going to figure out where I can grow this, and I can do what I need to do. And I'm going to be the supplier, distributor, the marketer, everything on my own product. I mean, you gotta have some honor. Even if you get caught and you go to jail, you can say, well, I created an empire, I created a business. Nah, I was working for some guy that's up in the rich neighborhood, and I'm putting my life on the line every day. I don't even have a place to live, and I'm selling weed, and every day I'm risk of getting shot or killed, and he's up living high on the hog, and I'm out here, I'm doing all the hard footwork. No, if I'm doing hard footwork, I'm gonna do it all. I'm gonna raise the plant, I'm gonna get the seeds, I'm gonna plant them, I'm gonna grow it, I'm gonna trim it and do all the stuff that y'all do when y'all have y'all weed, package it, market my product. And I know, number one, that it ain't contaminated with no fentanyl and all that other crap. I will know my product is legit. And if I got caught, even when I went to jail, it's like, you know what, I did that. It was all me. It wasn't I was working for somebody else. That's how we got to start thinking. Even if you're going to be doing criminal stuff, you got to start thinking that way. Like, you got to think, I got to own this. I should have my first crop next spring. It's official. I love with you. There'll only be a handful pickers. Let me see. I see some comments here. So yeah, I just had to say this today, and I'm gonna be saying more because this gonna have to be said multiple times, because you know we don't get things unless you just like beat it in us. And then the other day when I saw people were giving money to Kylie Jenner or whatever her name is, so she could make the billionaires club. Like, what is wrong with us? I know it was some of us giving her money too. I know it. And I'm sitting here looking like, why are we giving this lowlife money to make the billionaires club? She ain't gonna never do nothing for you. You think she would fund one of your projects? They should give you $1? No, anything you gotta get from her, you gotta pay for it. You gotta go to the store and buy her products. They ain't even good products. We got black people that are doing the same thing she's doing. How come y'all ain't making them billionaires? Why are you making this woman a billionaire? Why? I don't get it. It's like I've asked for help because I'm trying to buy a tractor and stuff for the urban farm, but also so I can start offering tilling services. People don't want to invest in that, but if I said, you know, I'm gonna start growing weed in Colorado, oh, I'll have all types of people. Oh, let me get in on that. Let me get for what? What you gonna get in on it for? So you can just make a quick million? You can make a quick million and then I do all the work? I'm tired of that. Kylie Jenner is Kim Kardashian's little sister. So Forbes did a whole article on her about she has $900 million. She's not too far from being a billionaire. They said she was self-made billionaire, which I don't know how she's self-made when, you know, her family were already millionaires, and you know the things her sister did to even get to those millions. But yeah, so they did this whole article on her. So when people found out she was at 900 million, they started giving her money so she could raise that last little bit to make it to $1 billion. And I saw somebody saying that they didn't even pay their child support to give her money to get her closer to that level. Y'all ain't pay your child support, but y'all giving this woman that ain't done nothing for you. Y'all ain't building no wealth for your youth, your offspring. Y'all don't have nothing to pass on to them if something happened to you, but y'all giving her money. I don't get it. I don't get it. Hi, Alexander.
He's doing Facebook Live.
Yep.
Put Sasha in here.
I'm talking. Don't be rude. But yeah. Oh no, there were a lot of us. There were a lot of us that sent money. There are a lot of us that buy her products. She sells makeup and lipstick and all this other stuff. So there was a lot of people that gave that buy her stuff on a regular basis. They'll buy her stuff before they'll buy Rihanna's stuff. And which I don't get it. I don't get it. We don't support us, but we'll support them to the end. we will take away and support everything that they're doing. Now, this is Alexander. This is my son. I be teaching him the agricultural ways, even though he don't like to do it half the time. He'll appreciate it once he gets older.
Show Sasha real quick.
Yeah, she can stay down there. But yeah, I just had to make this video. But I'm be doing some webinars for the black farmers, showing people some farming that they can start on a small scale in their yards, or if they have acreage they can start that can net a lot of profit. There's certain things you can grow, and if there's a market for it, which is going to be a huge market for a lot of stuff. If Trump keeps making Mexico mad, we get most of our whatever we don't get from California and Florida as far as produce, we get a lot of it from Mexico. So for him to keep causing all these issues with Mexico, we're not going to be able to even trade with them the things that we get from them. Now I'm growing tomatoes. We get a lot of tomatoes from Mexico, a lot of peppers from Mexico. You can grow those right here. You can grow those right here. And then when it gets cold, you can take that indoors, and you can grow them in hydroponics. You can grow them if you live in a southern state and it's warm most of the year. You can grow it there. We don't have to rely on other countries. A lot of people got land, and that's what I talked about earlier. Yeah, a lot of our people do have land and they're not even using it. Are you selling vegetables? Either from my office or right here on the farm. I haven't decided yet. I think I'm gonna start next Saturday. I'm gonna set up a little table, probably out here, as long as it doesn't rain. But Trump can make it. We don't really have to make it real hard, because we could be independent of Trump. I don't pay attention to anything Trump does, because at the end of the day, it don't matter if Trump's in the office or some Democrats in the office. We are still in the same condition we've been in since, they signed the 13th, 14th Amendment. We're still in the same position we've been in since we were in slavery. We've been in the same position since they came over here and discovered America. So nothing's going to change on our behalf. It doesn't matter who's in there. I get so sick of us always arguing and complaining about people that vote and don't vote. We've been voting. We voted out. We voted in. We voted for. We voted against. It don't change for us. It does not change. It does not change. So, it don't matter. It don't matter. We can vote, and then people get caught up with the whole church thing. We've been praying, and we've been praying. We got to do something. You can't just keep praying. You got to get up and do something. Nobody's going to come. You got to get up and do something. You got to get up and do something. I get so sick of us and the things that we just don't even try. Or so like here's Cincinnati. People say like, oh, I want to learn how to do this, and this. So I'll even offer the class. I've offered free classes. I've offered cheap classes. I've offered expensive classes. People don't even show up. They don't even show up. They don't even show up. So if they don't show up, did you really even want it, or are you just talking? I don't know. Being on Alexander, stop. Being on Facebook, I think it shows like a false hope. Social media, like I'm all when I say I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do something by any means necessary. I'm not gonna, if you say you want to start a garden, I'm gonna be at your house with seeds in hand and soil, and we gonna get this going. Or if you say you want to learn something, I'm gonna be there with the computer, the papers, the homework. Y'all gonna learn this stuff today. But I don't think people are that serious. People just talk. Hey, how's everybody doing? It's telling me hello. Hold on. Hey, Abdul. Truth, faith without works is dead. Yes, faith without works is dead. And you can be whatever religion you want to be. You can be Muslim, you can be Christian, you can be an atheist, you can whatever you want to be. But you still got to get up and do something. At the end of the day, you got to get up and do something. You know, if I could, you know, I wanted to plant this urban farm. I could have waited around, and I could have waited. Oh, well, somebody's gonna come and help me. No, I had to get up and do something. If I didn't get up and do something, I would not have anything to harvest. You know, because I didn't do anything. You got to do work. You have to do work. You can't just say it. You gotta set a date to it. You gotta set a plan. You gotta have some action. We could talk all day. I get so sick and tired of people on having all these think tanks and all this. How many times we gonna discuss the same stuff over and over and over again? How many times? How many times we gonna talk about it? Or we gotta work on the food deserts. Or we gotta work. How you work on a food desert? You go start. You start planting some stuff. You get some gardens going. You get some urban farms going, or you get these farmers that got all these 100 acres of land down south, and you ask them, "Can I look? They can make money. Can I rent your acres of land to grow stuff so I can start this grocery store up here in Cincinnati or wherever state you live in?" Because the food desert thing it's national. It's not just a certain area. Need to get some of the zucchini or something. I got them. They're $1.50 a piece. You actually, if you want to come back here today and get them, you can get them. I got a whole bunch of them. I get like at least 10 zucchinis a day. But yes, we will talk something to death. And then nobody ever wants to take the first step to do it. Or we're always waiting on, well, we got to get funding. You don't need no funding. You know how much zucchini seeds cost? You can buy a pack of seeds for $1. All you need is some soil, and if you don't have soil, you can even grow these in hydroponics. I've even shown you how to grow these in hydroponics. Indoors, in a container that you didn't even, all you had to do was have light. You didn't even have to have water pumps or anything for it. I've shown people how to do this. So we just like making excuses. We like being the victim. We like being the victim. If we ain't the victim, then we ain't got nothing to complain about. So I think we like having the situations we're in. You know why? Because then that makes people feel sorry for us. And it just, I don't like that. I don't like that. Because this is not getting us anywhere. We can't be the victim with everything. Yes, racism is here. Yes, it's here. But you can navigate around that. You know, racism here, but I'm still growing zucchini, ain't I? I got a whole thing of corn over there. I got collard greens growing, okra. Yes, there's racism, but I set out on a goal. I said I'm gonna create an urban farm. I got eggs here. I get eggs every day. You can hear the chickens laying them now. So it's like, yes, racism's here. Yes, there's issues here, but there's also things you can be doing to better yourself. Then if you want to move to Africa or wherever else you want to go, you'll be better prepared. But we don't want to do that. We don't want to do that. We like being victims. We like waiting on somebody else. We like waiting on someone else to give us money. We like waiting on, oh, well, I can't start until I get funding. I can't start till I get 40 acres. No, start with a 10 by 10 garden. Start with your basement. You want to start a business? Huh?
What if Trump was listening to this?
It don't matter. He need to hear it too. This is how he started. If you want to start a business, say you want to, it ain't got to be something agricultural. Anything. You can start in your apartment, your house. You know somebody that got an office. Ask them, can you borrow it? Y'all go to churches. Churches be having basements they ain't even using. Ask them, can you use that? My plot is, it's about, I think it's like 7,500 square feet. And of that, I only farmed half of it. The other half, I haven't done anything with it yet, other than I got the trees that were growing up back there. I cleared it out. I'm in Kennedy Heights. If you want to come get them, I'll give you the address. So, I mean, you ain't got to start out big. Start what you have. When I first started farming, I had a little 4x8 little garden box that I had started. And you know, I had always been around flowers and plants and stuff. My mother's a florist. And then I've always been, it's science and scientific stuff, but I had never actually grown my own stuff, but I knew how to do it. So I just started with a 4x8 garden, and I planted a whole bunch of stuff, and it all started to grow, and I took care of it, and I studied it, and then I started posting it on Instagram. I didn't think people would be interested. I started taking pictures of insects because I'm an entomologist. I study insects, and I would take pictures and I'd tell people what these are and what they do, and that got me a following on Instagram. And then that following on Instagram, it got me a whole bunch of jobs and opportunities. I was writing for a new a magazine. I had wrote for Rodale. I wrote articles for them, and I got paid for all this stuff. Using social media, that's how I found out about the Black Farmers Association. I met them on there. I've met lots of people. Then I've also met lots of people that think they're going to get over on me and use me, and I'm not going to do that. So, I mean, it's there's good and bad, but I use social media for good. I try to use social media to teach y'all stuff, to show you stuff, to educate you, to warn you, to let you know what's going on. I use it for good. I don't use it just to sit here and talk about celebrities and you know, all the stuff that, all the crap and clapping back at people. I don't do that. I don't do that. I might share some funny stories or something, but for the most part, I keep it informative. I keep y'all informed on stuff. I will, when people put memes up that I know ain't true, I will sit there and I will show you how it's not true. I'll even find the papers to tell you that it's not true, because I'm a scientific person. So I've had to read scientific papers, so I know where to go and look for the stuff. And I'm like, that's not true. That's not worth it. But that's another thing. Y'all believe anything that's on the internet, but when somebody tries to tell y'all that's not true, y'all want to argue and fight. And I'm trying to look out for y'all, because y'all people are following stuff that is costing them a lot of money, time, and energy that they don't even need to get involved in. But yeah, because like I said, I'm going to do some webinars, because I had to do them for the National Black Farmers Association for our project. But it'll be focused on Virginia and North Carolina, talking about different things that they can grow in that particular climate. But in actuality, you can grow them in any climate, because I mean, and in any size space you may have. You're considered a farm. There's no particular size that says you're a farm or anything. You're considered a farm if you're selling products that you're growing. So you can have a garden, but you're considered a farm. But you got to register the farm and all these things, and that's what I try to educate people about. But like I said, at the end, we got to stop waiting on other folks. We got to stop. We got to stop relying on the banks. We got to start relying on the government. All this stuff we can do ourselves. We can really do it ourselves. We can grow produce. We can raise livestock. We can create our own labs. We can create our own industries. We don't have to do what everybody else is doing. We are tripping. Yes, we are. We are. We slipping too. Like, we just don't try. We don't even try. I don't know. When I went recently to a high school. First, I went to Alexander School, and he was in the 3rd grade. The kids in the 3rd grade were so much more. I don't even know the word to describe it, but they were so more in tune with what was going on, and wanting to learn and interested. Because I took bees to the school. I took my observation hive and I taught them about bees. And I also took chickens to the school, and I taught them about chickens and eggs and all the stuff that goes along with that. We covered so many topics in just 2 hours. We covered microbiology when we were talking about the chickens, food safety, salmonella. We talked about chicken reproduction with the eggs, how you can candle them, how to take care of the chickens. We covered so many things, and the kids were all excited. And then I brought the bees the following day. We talked about pollination. We talked about bees. We talked about how honey's made, why they make honey, and all this other stuff. And they were so in tune, and they were like, they wanted me to be their science teacher and all this stuff. And then I go talk to these older kids, and it's like, if you don't get them at that 3rd grade level, You ain't gonna get them once they get to high school. They didn't know anything. The third graders knew more, and they had more educational answers than the 9th to 12th graders. And that was very sad. And this was these third graders are still in the public school system. This was a public school that I went to with the older children too. But it seems like these kids were more in tune, wanting to learn than those older children. And these older children, they're the ones that need to be learning because they're going to be the next generation. They're 4 years from now. They're supposed to be deciding what they want to do with their life, and they may have families and all types of other stuff that they're going to have to provide for. And they were clueless. The third graders, they were phenomenal. Those high school students, they made me upset that day. I was sad.
Mom, what you talking
I was
about?
sad. I'm talking on here.
What
We are
about?
tripping. Making Monday, Tuesday, I would like to visit. Stand up.
Mom,
But yeah, we got a lot of work to do, and this is my purpose and calling. So I'm gonna keep bringing up agriculture, science, chemistry, all the stuff that runs. This stuff runs the country. Yes, there's those desk jobs and all that stuff, but at the end of the day, agriculture, science, all that is what runs this. If agriculture disappears, we're gonna disappear. Number one, we won't be able to eat because nobody knows how to grow their own stuff, so we relying on the grocery store. And then number two, we rely on agriculture for other things like fuel and clothing, lighting, all types of stuff. So we got a lot to do. We can turn this around, but we gotta start pushing our youth and even adults. We gotta start pushing them in this direction. We can't keep thinking that we keep pursuing the same stuff and we're gonna have different results. We're not. And just moving to Africa is not the answer. Nobody wants a useless person going anywhere. I wouldn't if I was an African country and there was a horde of American black people coming over here. The first thing I would ask, well, what do they have to offer us? What are they going to do to benefit us coming over here? We don't have nothing to offer them other than Americanized nonsense, and that's not fair to them. But I'm gonna get out of here. If I'll message my address and stuff to the people that asked for it. But y'all have any questions, y'all know y'all can always put them in the comments, or y'all can send me an email at urbanfarmsister@gmail.com, or you can direct message me. I'm on Instagram, I'm on Twitter, I'm on of course Facebook. I have an actual Facebook page too, and I have a YouTube channel, so you can always find me. You can also text me too, but the best way to contact me is through email, because I can answer them later in the day, because a lot of times people try to call or text. I don't always have my phone. Like right now it's charging all my solar energy. But I'll talk with you guys later. Thanks for listening to my rant. All right, bye.